What up, bros and hoes, peeps and creeps? This is Bodala coming to you live from the nest under the Arizona skyline. Uh, I'm gonna continue with my review of The Witcher 2: Assassins of Kings, uh, and then you shall see if I fully recommend buying this game. Spoiler alert: I do. It's worth every penny of that $20 that it costs. So yeah. Uh, I really only review games that are $20 now, so you can afford them. This one's really worth it, but the gameplay is where it really pisses you off. Okay, so in the very first mission, the very first level, when I'm just recounting what I'm doing and it's still telling me how to do stuff, I died 25 times. I counted 25 times on normal difficulty. Uncalled for. It's just so difficult to get used to this gameplay, and when you don't have any upgrades, you are screwed beyond belief. In the end of the game, I had this sword that made everything so easy. It turned people not to stone, into ice sculptures, and then you shattered them. That was awesome. And this weapon did more damage than any other weapon I've ever had in the game. Um, it was amazing, but I only used it like twice because that was the only time I could use it. Now, see, you have two swords, right? You have your regular sword, that's the one that I had that was badass. Then you have your silver sword, and the silver sword is terrible against people, but it's really good against anyone who's not a human. So elves, and every monster. That's essentially what it means. Witchers, no. So against the Letho, you're not going to want to use that. You're going to want to use a regular sword because you're technically a human if you're a Witcher. Um, but anyways, gameplay-wise, screws you beyond belief. And watch out for arrows because those will destroy you. And so, in terms of like your superpowers, you have all these spells. And you can become a mage or a swordsman or an herbalist. Let me repeat that. You could become a guy who masters in the swordsman arts. You can be a guy who masters in the magical arts. Or you could like plants and make potions and do stuff like that. Ooh! No, that is a terrible choice. Do not go down that path. You can choose anything in any path. It doesn't constrict you to like restrict you to one path specifically. I would choose swordsman the majority and then magic. I didn't do anything with herbalist. Potions are just so worthless. You can't even use them in combat. You have to use them before you go into combat, which is just a slap to the face to anyone who chooses to be an herbalist. Um, but anyways, your spells, you have to upgrade for them to really be good. Um, and they're pretty cool. They're pretty good variety. One of them's like a force push. One of them's a fireball. One of them is a shield. One of them is a trap that just ensnares people. One of them is it possesses people and makes them attack their teammates. And that's pretty much that. I don't know. I've never really went fully magic. You can try it if you want. I would suggest getting every single bit of vigor that you can. So yeah. uh, but yeah, it's really fun once you get into it. You're gonna have to save like a bitch. You're gonna have to save every time you're out of combat. Save every second you're out of combat because you can die like that. Um, Seriously, it is so hard to live in that game. It's like Dark Souls, except worse. Because Dark Souls at least transports you to your last place where you were. Um, this just straight up makes you like, it makes you pull your hair out because its auto save system makes you feel like you can trust it, but you can't. You cannot trust it at all. It doesn't do anything. So save every second you get. Um, in terms of fighting, the controls are pretty smooth. You can do takedowns and finishers. Once you get to a high enough level, you can finish off a ton of people at once, which is this weird move where you like rub the sand and then everybody's like, what's he doing, charge him, and then you're just like, whoa, poof, and then you just like blast them against the wall. That's pretty much the only one I ever saw. I did, however, see one where I took down 2 harpies at once, which is pretty cool. I just like I just flung my sword at one of them and killed the other. And then yeah, so the gameplay is kind of cool. You can play dice. Also, you can arm wrestle, things like that. In terms of gosh, what was I gonna say? In terms of yeah, armor and weapons, you pretty much are on your own. You gotta find all of the schematics for them and then find all the ingredients. That's the best way to do it. It really is the best way to do it, because you gotta use blueprints and such. So that's pretty much that. In terms of traveling places, there is really no fast travel. You just gotta travel on foot, which sucks. And you can't go back to certain areas that you've already been to. Like, once you pass Act 1, you can't go back. You just can't. So I suggest doing every quest possible there, because I did as many quests as I could, and I still didn't achieve the maximum level that you can get to in the game. So yeah, that was a slap in the face. But yeah, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, the quests. The quests are really fun. There are a bunch of side quests you can do. Like I said in the last ones, there's even one where you get drunk off your ass and you have to figure out what you're doing. There's some that are really annoying where you have to deal with drunk people and take them and find out if they're conspirators to the throne or not. And some of those are even mandatory, and it pisses me off that they made that mandatory, because, I mean, a lot of people don't like doing that. But yeah, some of them are really fun. You can get into an arena situation where you fight a bunch of people in the arena, stuff like that. So yeah. Anyways, so you're the Witcher, and you're pretty much badass, and that's the game itself. It's really dark. Don't expect a happy ending. There are no happy endings. It's all sad for the Witcher, and he's covered in so many scars, and it's like, what the hell happened to you? I'm just imagining this like hedonism retreat he went on that he regrets for the rest of his life, because there are scars all over him. Oh God, it's just so bad. And he's like the ugliest guy, but every girl likes him, and only one of them calls him ugly, and he's like, ugly? And I'm like, yeah, you're freaking ugly. You are hideous, look at you. And so yeah, but he's the White Wolf, so what you gonna do? Anyways, so that's the gameplay. I'm sure I missed a bunch of stuff. I recommend the game in full. Buy it. It's gonna be a great experience. Get the enhanced edition. That's what I got. I don't know what it does, but it does come with a quest book. You're gonna need that because the quests make no sense. So yeah, you're gonna need that, and yeah. So like, favorite, subscribe if you enjoyed. This is Bodala signing out.